gosh, all the top 4 will get some money on their side. And Team Ed, another name that will be jumping up the board.
#1 spot here, and I gotta say, if there's anybody in this lobby that can make that happen, it's going to be Aztract. Aztract had
any doubts amongst them?
I don't think there was any doubts. I think they were just kind of warming up, finding the connection with that substitute of Swako. But I mean,
unfazed, stayed in that upper bracket, didn't even have to think about it twice, got it done in 2. Artie, when you're in that position where you get...
Here it is. It's all come down to this. A long cycle and a long morning. Sonsoyo, for these players, it's still going to be a long road ahead, no matter what happens at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's a long best of 3. That being said, we do see that pad gateway rotating them all the way over to the box on Unfazed. Llama and Pulsar making their way downtown, finding this jump pad as well. They're going to be ready for this Goo to block any incoming damage with that heal ball as well. I love this kind of off angle, this unorthodox. Mainly people jump right through that big window, but this is going to be a great position to equalize this high ground.
100%. This looks to me that Pulsar, they're ready with a plan in mind, and Unfazed, they are just going to be able to face tank this. No worries at all. But for Visions, he takes a lot of damage, and we talked about this before, that Pulsar needs to look to take out that medium early. They're absolutely going for it, and that's Cav taking out Visions with a fervor. But at the same time, Unfazed, they clap back. Llama goes down. Swako and Cav, they are going to get healed back up, though. Question is, will Az be able to survive? There's anybody that could do a 1v2 like this. It's going to be Az. He gets the first dash, does not take any damage, but the other heavy got rezzed. Now he's got to take out Llama, but unfortunately, the controller can only go so far, and Unfazed take the first wipe. Pulsar have the vault in hand.
Yeah, which means they're going to be able to get this plug early on with about 10 seconds left for that respawn timer. That being said, I mean, over here on this high ground, it can be quite difficult to make this push, especially against a double heavy. But if any team could do it, Unfazed is the team I have my money on. That being said, here they go, spawning down in that bottom left area, going to be able to make their way up. And I mean, Pulsar taking control of this billboard.
This is, well, good height control, but for Unfazed, they have good self-control to not just dive in unnecessarily. And C4 will open up the rooftop, allow Juker to get a vertical winch on this cash out, but before going too far out, they know that there could be an invis light ready and waiting on an angle. Juker looks, but doesn't find him. Instead, 1 floor down is where he would have found the remaining double heavy.
I
think they both spotted each other here. There's definitely some knowledge being exchanged with Juker. He's got the dome. The glitch barrel does actually connect. He kidnaps Llama, and 1 heavy down so far. The second heavy falls, and Cav is the last alive, and he's found immediately. Sonsoyo, what a fight!
Absolute explosive fight. Beautiful glitch. Amazing winch, and just absolute brilliant cleanup from the side of Unfazed. They're gonna be able to get this flip, and if you're on the side of Unfazed, holding this high ground is a little bit better than what Pulsar had. Gonna be setting up a pre-pad stall right beneath that point. That's gonna offer a few more seconds on that stall. That being said, Pulsar spawn back in, and that's their turn to make their approach over towards this billboard. But Juker gonna be getting some nice tickles with that shack.
Great phrasing. That's the word that we chose. All right, Sonsoyo. Well, let's see if he can tickle back. Because Juker, he is still, I mean, he's tickling. You're not wrong. I mean, Swako, feeling quite tickled, is down on the bottom, and it seems to be the Unfazed will be able to go through this. And note the health bars. Unfazed, untickled.
Llama
goes down, and Swako, I'll drop it. Swako is, well, get his health back. Visions drop the cash out, and Swako, he's just going to get absolutely gunned down. Cap, last up once more. Sonsoyo, this is looking like Unfazed just needed a little time before they were ready.
Yeah, we're warming up over here, and they got the first cash box, and I was thinking Pulsar would win this map, but with Unfazed in the lead right now, it's not looking too good. They're in control of this rotation. Going to be able to get the momentum started right here, but ultimately, it's going to be on Pulsar to make this run back. And Aztract looking to maybe get this tap started, but could also be waiting for a little bit of information over here.
they lost that first vault fight, so I'm really looking to see how Unfazed tries to change up what happened last time. I mean, Pulsar, they just collapsed in on them after getting early damage onto Visions, and so Visions is playing so safe. You can see he's already behind his own goo. He's staying well behind his team, and look at how close Az is playing. Usually Az, he goes a little bit far. He finds a lot of that stuff. Chuck just bounced off the corner. That's amazing. He still made it up there. But Llama, he's looking to engage. First dome will come out, but glitch, the pre-glitch from Aztrack. First dome lands from Juker, but he's going to be safe to the damage.
Yeah, and I mean, Juker's going to be falling to Llama's SA-12. That's not going to be looking very good for Unfazed. Pulsar has control of Juker's body right now. The one thing they have to avoid is those glitches, but with this box in hand and that player down on the side of Unfazed, they have a very clean rotation to a cash out right here, but we'll have to see where this reset comes in and what kind of rotation they do. This is a beautiful rotation.
They decided not to finish the team fight, which is so interesting coming from Pulsar, especially considering that Visions could have gotten involved with the defib, but Juker coins back in, and Az, he's trying to take advantage of the fact that the vault fight was not respected, but Az is not respected as Caf guns him down. Juker somehow manages to stay alive, but Llama does not. Visions hits the shot from 357, and now all of Pulsar is combining on top of Aztrack's body. Make sure that res does not happen. Juker is the last alive, and Sueco and Caf, they are trying to make sure that they can finish this off cleanly. But Juker wants those coins, Sonsoyo.
Yeah, Juker's waiting for these coins to come in. Pulsar going to be able to set up a little bit, but it looks like they're rotating to this point over here, and Juker has to play very cautiously because he is on the floor of this box. And if he is found, that is going to be a massive stagger, but Pulsar playing a little bit of a hot potato over here with the cash outs and letting Unfazed respawn back in, gonna get that full reset. Interestingly enough.
It's so interesting that they've waited this long, but look at this engagement. The pad goes up, but Visions is down, and Juker, he's going crazy, but Caf goes down first, and Juker is down again. Aztrack last alive, and this is not gonna be winnable for the light that could. And that will be Pulsar surviving with just a singular heavy. The coach lives.
And when they wanted to go to B, now they're going to C. I'm not sure what they want here, but they're going to find this reset. Gonna finally get this plug-in, I hope, as Cafaneo is going to be respawned, rezzed right back up from Swalco. And that's going to be C. Finally getting started over here. Oh my gosh, what a delay.
13 minutes remain. 7 minutes long to get the second cash out. We've seen longer, but still, between these two teams, how fast these team fights are manifesting, seeing those long resets is insane. We'll see how long this team fight takes to come to fruition, because I can already tell Aztrack is looking for a gateway to bring them behind as Visions looks to try to get them a pad forward. But at the moment, Llama and Sueco, they're looking for the RPGs to shoot out, but Llama goes out first. Juker out second. It's a 2-on-1 now. Caf, the last remaining, and the defib gonna be landing now. Caf might have survived, but he's dropping out early to wipe and bring the team back fast enough for one more team fight. If they can't do it, means Unfazed is gonna have map 1.
I don't know how they were able to get that run back with two heavies jumping on them. A big RPG opener. I mean, the counter winch from Juker was just absolutely insane to swing that fight back in their favor. I mean, ultimately, it could have come down to that revolver just chunking down that health on the side of Juker and Visions, but we're going to see Pulsar spawn back in over here, and this is a very, very difficult spawn. Going to be trying to block that rotation, block that gateway, but with Cafaneo on that invis, he's going to be able to get a clean gateway for his double heavy.
Yeah, this is where Unfazed might falter depending on Pulsar's approach, but Red Barrel does not disrupt the heavy's movements, but I know that Unfazed is very concerned about where that Cafaneo is going to come from. Cafaneo comes out the side. The heals bring Juker back to life, but not for long. Now Llama, Sueco, and Cap, they are all back up to full HP. They are invigorated and running forward, and Sueco, he gets chucked out. Visions gets winched, and Llama, he gets traded. Az versus Cap, once again, the battle of the lights, but there's no time left as he knows that he can just play for the stall. Pulsar does not have a chance to steal, and Unfazed takes map 1.
Brilliancy from Unfazed right there. I mean, Pulsar, Wasn't able to hold it, wasn't able to get that run back on that second cash out. I felt like they had that momentum, but it was just absolute destruction from Unfazed in this first cash out, and we'll have to see how this next map goes if Pulsar is able to make this run back. I could have sworn this was Pulsar's map to get that momentum early on, but Unfazed find the momentum in this best of 3.
Yeah, not only that, but we will be going to Sis Horizon next, which is Unfazed map pick. So Unfazed off the back of this incredible performance where even the team fights at Pulsar 1 felt like they were just, something felt lacking, Sonsoyo, and I am still trying to understand some of the decisions that were being made here, but no matter what, we can all agree on one thing, and that is that, well, the R357 still hurts.
Yeah. That thing chunks the health bars away from the heavy, and I mean, we even got to see the value from that medium. Not only that 93R or that Revo, but the defibs as well. I mean, just beautiful. The scoreboard looking pretty even overall, but just squeaking it out every time.
Now when, well, we go from one CNS glitchy style map to the other, and Sonsoyo, it seems to me that Unfazed is, I could finally say it, Unfazed.
Unfazed indeed. That being said, we see the same composition coming out from both sides. I feel like this could be Cafaneo's map, being able to play a little bit slower pace. I think this double heavy comp needs to slow down. Find a beautiful RBG right through that hole, but I think it's going to be healed right back up, but blocking that RPG as well. But that glitch is going to come out in full force, and Pulsar is going to have to look for this reset. The box still yet to be tapped, but Cafaneo looking for that invis, kind of sneaking around right by Aztrak. This could prove just such a dangerous situation for him. The RPG comes out from Swalco, and it's going to be Cafaneo going to be taken out by Aztrak over on the other side.
They don't see him!
Taking out Visions, evening things up, and now the double heavy pushing in aggressively, trying to find another opening. Aztrak going to be the last one up, taken out. Juker falling to Swalco as well, and I mean, just absolute destruction from the double heavy, but we talked about it last game. Pulsar's winning these vault fights. They need to hold it down on the cash outs too.
I mean, Llama just walked up. They didn't even look at him. The SA-1216 definitely proving to be advantageous for Team Pulsar, and I am excited to watch this next setup because I have a really, really good feeling that Sueco is going to try and push the team to, well, play this vault or this cash out a little bit differently once this vault gets plugged.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we saw right there. They avoided the glitch. They avoided the RPG. They were able to renegotiate that fight and just reposition. But here, this fight is going to be breaking out pretty early on. That glitch just taking out 2 of the opponents. But Llama wastes an RPG on the ground. He's not going to be able to find any value with that. Swalco now going to find some value as well. But Juker pushing in very aggressively right here. Drops a dome, trying to buy a little bit of protection. But Visions goes down from Cafaneo. That invis proving so valuable. And Juker going to be taken down, and that's going to be Unfazed dropping.
Well, I mean, we all remember from prior seasons of comp, the SA-1216 being the absolute demon against HML. Llama is here to prove that that has not changed quite just yet.
I mean, I love myself some SA-12 gameplay. It's my favorite weapon personally, so I love to see it. And we're going to be seeing the run back from Unfazed. They finally spawn back in a very similar location. We'll see if they take that jump pad or try and sneak in a little bit down below. But to get this box, they have to find some value. But Astrak's probably going to look for a glitch right here as they wrap around
kind of close together, and using the C4 means that they're going to be very much telegraphing where they come from. The RPG goes all the way out. The wish misses as well. The glitch doesn't find any value. The domes are both wasted. All of the util on both teams gone to the side, but Cafaneo, he's gone early. Visions, he's getting targeted. He's out first. Juker and Astrak fall off the side, but Lava and Sueco stable up on top. There's 30 seconds left on this cash out, but Juker, he's able to come back up top. They're able to get the res. No doubt Pulsar going for a res of their own accord. All 3 are back online, but not all of that util is. Pulsar, they're on the point to make sure nobody can go for a cheeky steal. The Juker, he's going to be able to take out one. Calf, last alive versus Visions. Visions has to hold it. There's not a lot of time. Calf, will he be able to come around the side and find the fight? Visions misses the shot, but Calf doesn't. And even though Visions is able to get that last shot, there's no time, and box 1 goes to Pulsar.
Wow, 2v1 situation at the end there, but Cafaneo finding that early pick, and it's putting it down to a 1v1. Just great patience from him, locking down that point for Pulsar. Just absolute cinema right there. Just clinical plays from Pulsar, avoiding those glitches, and that's what we need to see. They were able to avoid those glitches in that fight opener, and just able to snowball it, ultimately getting their victory there.
100%. Now, it is Unfazed that will have a slight advantage in positioning on this next vault, but as you can tell, they're trying to just keep Pulsar at bay. They do not want to be in winch range. They do not want to be in SA-12-16 range, and Visions is going to have to be a key player in that with that 357. Pulsar knows, though, they could just stand in between, because over on the library, it's kind of a hard rotate to get in, no matter if you're going to the museum or the campus, where both of these cash outs are located. This is, well, a little bit of a hard rotation unless they cut hard right, but no doubt Pulsar's already expecting that.
Yeah, they do have a dash pad already set up, basically, so we'll see if this rotation comes out. There goes the dash, there goes the pad, and now we're rotating this box. Vision with that in hands. It's going to still be Pulsar in control of this map positioning, but Swalko taking a lot of damage. He narrowly gets out of there, but Astrak's trying to push aggressively, thinking he's hiding indoors, but matter of fact, he is outside, hiding behind that pole. I mean, he's
got
maybe
Chuck
found
nearby.
right here with Chuck, right here, holding up that mesh, and does get glitched, and Chuck's gonna be dropped down as well, but Astrak now in a tricky situation, but Llama gonna be taken out by Visions. That Revo doing so much damage, another missed RPG, so many missed RPGs in this game, but it's gonna be Juker taken out by Swalko. 2v2 situation here as Visions finds that reset off top of Astrak. We're gonna be going for that 1v1 right here. He takes out Cafaneo. No escape options, no dash in hand. He's just stuck in the mud with that invis.
Swako stalling. He throws the vault away. He knows Pulsar is going to be wiped, and he wants to make sure the Unfazed has as little time as possible once that plug gets underway.
Yeah, I mean, Astrak grabbing this box, taking this zip line, may opt to just dash pad or just take a regular pad, you know, take the scenic route over to C and get this plug going. And I mean, I would like to say this is a very tricky point to push, but there's a lot of tricky ways to do it. That being said, it depends on where you spawn, because this is, we'll have to see as this box gets winched out and Unfazed up on this high ground. I don't know, Hardy. Pulsar.
It's a tough one. Pulsar are going to be coming back. At least they spawn on the campus side. I feel like that run-up is going to give them the most cover, just considering the rooms and the layout of the museum. But I don't know, Sensoyo. I feel like if they are trying to go from the staircase, it's not going to work out well for them. They have to get a good...
I think they have a plan.
Gateway.
I think they have a plan. I think they're going to blow up this wall.
They're going to winch it. They're winching it.
And then force point. But, I mean... Maybe they're baiting him out early, just
Unfazed down.
Wasting RPG, finally get that winch. That C4 is still on that box, but I think Unfazed sitting up on that balcony as well. They're going to be able to put the pressure on as they rotate in, trying to find a glitch up on that high ground.
They face check the front door!
RPG of their own, but the winch comes out, and Juker is going to be able to put the damage down, but the
there it
go out
is!
from Pulsar, and that's going to be very dangerous. Llama and Swalko take out Juker and Visions. It's just going to be Astrak left. He's going to be able to be taken out. 1v2
They're
right here. He's
him.
the gas to get revived quicker.
Oh my goodness, they were trying to stagger Astrak as fast as they could, but Astrak with the gas, what a fight! So yo, I think we're going to map 3. I do not think that there will be a solid attempt, because even though there's going to be 30 seconds left by the time Unfazed come back in, the walkover from campus, the run up to try to get in here, that was such a calculated push. Exactly, 2 domes. They didn't even spawn on campus.
A winch, a mesh.
Oh, there's no shot.
There's so much
no shot.
But they're gonna go for it
First
anyway.
dome, red barrel, RPG, winch, a lot of damage. Unfazed as they take out Swako.
They're on it.
Llama
but they
gonna be doing enough to chunk them out. It's just Astrak, and they know it's Pulsar's map. We're going to Bernal. Suspended sponsor structures.
Map 3 for this cycle 2. This is absolute insanity. I mean, Pulsar just locking down, avoiding those glitches, and able to kind of swing these fights in their favor, even when it looks like they're losing. Just so much util is the value of that double heavy. You have double RPG, just chunk away that damage on the opposing team. 2 domes to protect everyone. And I mean, it's Cafaneo sitting in Viz as well. I mean, beautiful shots from Vision, but not gonna be enough. And that's gonna be 2 for Pulsar on this map.
Wow, this has just been such an incredible series so far, and it is neck and neck. I have no idea how this third map is going to go, but the fact that both of these games were just entirely unpredictable, I'm just in awe of the level of competition we have in the finals.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be up to Pulsar, to me, to fight up an uphill battle over on Bernal's suspended structures. I mean, that being said, you said it kind of in the pre-match lobby. Ultimately, we're going to have to see because we're going to Bernal suspended structures, Artie.
It all comes down to this. The suspended sponsor structures brought to you by our beautiful sponsors such as Disun and Isolt and Trentilla. Well, this is just an absolutely beautiful version of the arena for everybody except for the people that have to push them. Now, when we look at Vault 1, it is Pulsar that gets the advantageous position, but unfazed, they're going to just punch right on through.
Yeah, gonna be breaking that zip. It looks like Llama rocking that shack as well, and Juker on the shack to boot as well, mirroring that matchup. But Pulsar in control of this time and space, gonna opt to get this tap early on. I mean, double shack it looks like from Pulsar.
The double shack makes a lot of sense on Bernal, and this is one of those things where it makes sense in theory, but you almost never see it in play, especially not in such a high-stakes match like this. But Pulsar's wasting absolutely no time trying to get over there, but so is Unfazed. Both teams are trying to get there first, with or without the vault. Pulsar gets there just a little bit faster, and for Unfazed, they will need to rely on this angle pad to get them in exactly where they want to be. The whole team takes it, but all of them make it just on slightly different levels. Pulsar already on the ultimate height. Seems to be that Visions is ready and opening with those damages, but Juker takes out Cap, and that's going to be detrimental to Pulsar. No heals remaining for the two heavies except for Chuck, and Chuck has been dealt with already. Juker and Visions all on the angles while Llama is down to 1 HP. He has to drop out, but he's caught before he can. Sueco holds his ground on the top, but as Aztrack pushes and the rest of the team comes in, Pulsar is wiped and unfazed, has the most advantageous position in the game.
I mean, you saw that Revo just destroying those heavies. I mean, as soon as Cafaneo goes down, he's unable to just get those heals on the side of Sueco and Llama, but ultimately, this is going to be a pretty difficult push. They do have that Invis Light to be said. They may get a gateway right in on top of this point, but I think it's going to be up to Cafaneo to enable this movement.
This has to be done perfectly from Caf. And as I think he's already just in his mind ready and waiting with those glitches. He knows what needs to happen in order to make sure. Wait. Is Unfazed giving them a gateway? Wait a second. Unfazed baited them out with a gateway that was going to die before they got there. And Pulsar.
Here's Caf's gate.
Is the gate, maybe? Is it going to get glitched? Az tried to throw one glitch. It didn't land.
Got it in, but Cafaneo taking a lot of damage right there. Now going to be separated from this fight. And there's going to be an RPG going out towards Llama and Sueco. And we're going to be dropping this point all the way down. And this could be what they want, but it's going to give Aztrack a perfect line of sight with that glitch and with that 93R. And Visions does drop down to Cafaneo, whereas we need to see Pulsar do something right here, but there's going to be no opening for them, as Aztrack's just sitting up on this high ground, just doing so much damage and ultimately holding this box for Unfazed.
One fight is all it has taken for all of these teams to set the bar. But for Unfazed, winning the very first fight here has allowed them to get the first box, even if the only fight that has come after it didn't go their way. And that is why Suspended Sponsor Structures takes a different level of mind games. Now, the T Cash Out C is already precariously postured up on the Isolt sponsored structure. But, so Soyo, what are the odds that it goes to the Cathedral instead?
I mean, both these points are very difficult. I feel like these have very similar flavors to be said. I mean, you do not want to be on that attacking that Cathedral because that high ground is just still so hard to push. That being said, it may be a little bit better if Pulsar ends up on the shorthand of this stick for this next vault fight, but We'll have to see how this goes as Unfazed posturing up on this high ground and Pulsar making their way in.
And Unfazed, they are going to be dropping in a little bit early as they put Aztract in the position to try to find Pulsar out early. And as Sueco opens the door, he's met with nothing but bullets. Cafaneo breaks a window, baiting out the utility, but that utility will connect, giving a little bit of a hit marker, letting Aztract know where the invisible light on the other team is holding. Pulsar got their fourth teammate, Chuck, ready and waiting for the attack that might not come out, but this Cav eats that red barrel for breakfast. Pulsar, they try to respond by eating that height. Instead, they eat Aztract's bullets. Sueco, he's going to be going down as well, but Cav finds one onto the light. But it's a heavy and a medium. Taking the back shots is Cav. He gets another. Vision's going for the res, but is that going to cost him? The railing saves his life, and now the 2v1 goes down to a 1v1 again, but Visions gets the clutch.
I mean, Cafaneo, very impressive fight, being with his back up against the wall, just unable to just fight up against that medium defib. That's why you bring that in. That's why this medium is so integral to Unfazed right here. I mean, Visions locking down with the Revo, locking down with the defibs as well. Just phenomenal awareness.
I just can't believe what we are seeing, especially just given how incredible both of these teams are playing. But Unfazed is on a different level of locked in. And hey, we talked about it being a possibility before. They might actually go for the Cathedral unless Visions takes the call to just send it all the way over to the assault structure. That looks like what they're doing. The goo pad comes out, but goo pad is a little bit scary since it can be chased by, but Pulsar, they're on a different timeline, different wavelength. So Soyo, it's going to be plugged.
This may end up actually being pretty, I mean, this may be pretty close. Look at this. Llama and Sueco are going to be able to zip up over on this zip line, but it looks like it might get knocked down. They get knocked down instead, away from that zip line.
Cav was waiting for it, though. He had the gateway, but no, they don't need it. They just take the other one.
Yeah, they get this pad right up over onto this cash out. And now they're going to be mantling up through this window, but with Unfazed up on this high ground, they're going to have to think of a plan to get back up there. Sueco taking a little bit of damage, gets caught out over here, finally gets that reset from the H+ infuser, but things slow down.
Things slowed down. I mean, Sueco wanted to use that mesh to get up, but you can't aim it all the way up that direction. Unfazed know that. Gateway here. There, Soyo, I feel like Unfazed is just waiting until the very last moment they need to.
There's no reason to push this agenda until Pulsar looks for this steal, but here it comes. A glitch goes out. That's the reason why you don't want to push it. You're trying to glitch all three of them, but they do get knocked down from that RPG.
Oh, Visions!
Visions gets taken out by Sueco. Beautiful shots from that shack, and now this could be their opening. Aztract now going to be looked at. Look at this. Juker finds that counter winch, but ultimately going to be taken out. But Sueco finds that follow-up, and now it's 1v2.
He's done this before. He gets one.
Gets taken out. Aztract finds that gateway, escaping the clutches of Sueco, and it's going to be the
This could be it. This could be it. It's going to be the very last fight if Unfazed win this. And now Aztract, he's holding the threat, but Cav swings up. The headshot is blocked. Visions has his defib. He gets him up, and Visions is going to go down. Now Aztract, he's got one chance, but no. Pulsar get the switch. There's one more box.
Pulsar even things up on suspended structures. Absolute insanity. How do they do it?
That was chaos. And both teams, you could tell, so sorry, the nerves are there.
Oh my gosh, it came down to that reset from both teams. Who's gonna get the resurrection quicker? I mean, Cafaneo sneaking through that vent, stopping that res, just doing a beautiful job at just pacing the fight perfectly. I mean, this is gonna be it. The tension is at an all-time high for Vault 3.
I don't have any chair left. I'm standing up in my room watching this, and in the virtual arena, all the fans standing on those bandstands, I know that there's no seats left for them either. So Soyo, look at how this fight is materializing. Neither team wants to push, even though they see some angle. They want to make sure everything is perfect, that their team is right with them. Unfazed, they're going to be the first to dive in. That dome is going to save them, and Visions and Az and Juker fall at once.
Wow, what an opener, and that's the power of that double heavy. If you have a hair out of place, you're gonna take a lot of damage, gonna get winched in, gonna take a big RPG, a face full of those dome shields. I mean, it's just absolute chaos. You need to have your light, find those glitches. You need to have Juker winch in one of the heavies, take out Cafaneo. You need an opener. You cannot just run in without much information, or at least a little bit of an advantage there.
Right. You just have to find something that will work for you. And, well, for Pulsar, there's not even a consistent answer to what is consistently working for them. Sometimes they go in with the RPGs and it's eaten by Juker's domes. Sometimes Llama loses the winch battle. And sometimes Aztrac doesn't get the fight. Neither of these teams are being as consistent as we usually see them, even in the first 2 maps.
I feel like Llama and Swaka are holding hand in hand, and they are always there for each other. That is one thing that's super consistent about Pulsar. That being said, I feel like Cafaneo could possibly get picked off early on, but it looks like Pulsar may get this plug early on, but it looks like Unfazed wants to take this high ground away from them.
They have the same timing. Dangerous. It's the same timing that we saw last time when Unfazed went with the box and Pulsar met them up at the top. This time it's Unfazed in the other position, and the winch goes both ways, but Llama dies first. Juker, he's up on the top. He's looking to try and finish the damage onto Sueco. Sueco eats the RPG, and Calf goes down. Sueco falls next, and Unfazed are going to be in control. We have one team fight remaining.
Yeah, just like I said, a hair out of place, and things crumble for both these teams. Their nerves are at an all-time high. And now it's on to Pulsar to make their approach back over to Cash Out D. And I mean, we talked about it before. Those in control of these suspended structures have a massive advantage.
Yeah, and this is Unfazed not looking to lose like last time. They want to keep this, and they're trying to get that information as early as they can.
Yeah, exactly. And we do see this fight breaking out, and Unfazed sitting up on this high ground, and it's going to be absolute beauty. But how do they make this approach? Does Pulsar get up? Do they try and get in this structure? But ultimately, we'll have to see, Artie.
I want to see how Unfazed is going to be trying to stop them. Do they want to bait them inside first or keep them out? It seems like keeping them out is the move, but Visions takes a lot of early damage, and Aztrac utilizes the H+ on Juker instead. It's a lot of damage that keeps Calf at bay, Az is on his absolute best behavior right now, looking for that Invis light.
Yeah, this is very scary for Pulsar. They need to find an approach.
30
They're
seconds.
stuck on this staircase, and 30 seconds left. They have to make their approach. We need to see a gateway, but I think it got glitched.
No, they're up on top, and there it is. Visions at half HP drops down. Sueco at half, but Juker stays alive, and Calf is the first to fall. Sueco is next, and Llama in the 1v3. He takes out Juker. It's a 1v2, but he's getting a lot lower, and that's Unfazed, who are your Cycle 2 winners.
Oh my gosh. Unfazed. Unfazed.
As they stand on top, having faced setback after setback, roster change after roster change, Visions somehow managing to land in with one of the best heavies and one of the best lights. Aztrac finding some of the best players to believe in him, and Juker finding some of the best grinders to go into the comp scene with. This is Unfazed standing tall, and this is off the back of so much hard work throughout the year. And as I said before, Aztrac is one of the hungriest players in comp, and this is the culmination of so much hard work. But it's not due to a lack of trying on the side of Pulsar, as Llama, Sueco, Calf, and Spawns will go back to the drawing board, but come back with a vengeance. They've made top 8 2 cycles in a row, and no doubt we'll see them in the top 8 in cycle 3.
Yeah, that being said, both of these teams must be feeling good. I mean, Unfazed especially, but I feel like the top 3 or 2 spots are just so important, Hyper. So, I mean, that was absolute chaos.
Chaos is the only word to describe that final map. If you had said Unfazed was going to win it all today, I don't think that was on the table in my mind. Was it on the table on your mind?
No.
Looking to stage 2, it was a matter of time before Unfazed would get their upper bracket victory.
Actually, because they right when Pulsar got that plug, they were taken out. But going alongside Artie, I did not expect Unfazed to make this whole run.
Out on top, Unfazed will claim 100 series points as well as the prize of $2,000 US. Pulsar Cup we have. And here it is, well, the leaderboard as it stands. Unfazed will jump to the top. We called that out very early on.